Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, and today I am bringing you a list of my rankings for the current game packs as of April 2018 from worst to best. I've got a few requests to do this, and I've always been a bit scared of doing them because with The Sims 4 still ongoing, there's always the chance of doing this type of video and then a few weeks later another pack comes out and it's like, oh, great, this video is already outdated. But since we didn't get a quarterly teaser at all for this current quarter, it doesn't seem like we're gonna get a game pack for quite a while, so I think it is safe to do one of these right now. Just as a disclaimer, these are my personal favorites, not what I think are objectively the best game packs, but yeah, just thought I would lay that out there before I get into it. Alright, so without further ado, let's get right into it, complete with an epic voiceover saying each number.
Number 6.
Spa Day! Oh, what? I'm not kidding, Outdoor Retreat is not at the bottom of this list. Don't get me wrong, I don't think any of the game packs released so far are bad. However, Spa Day impressed me the least. I love the wellness skill, the clothes, and the build objects, but apart from yoga, I don't actually use the content from this pack very often. I don't visit spas very often, as that's a venue I normally only go to with my rich Sims, and I rarely play as rich Sims. So, for that, Spa Day is my least favorite game pack.
Number 5.
Outdoor Retreat. Yeah, I mean, I really like Outdoor Retreat a lot, especially since up until recently, it was the only pack that's provided us with a vacation world. And I love rustic outdoor themes in The Sims. It's my favorite theme overall when it comes to furniture and creative Sim stuff. But still, even though I really love the setting of Granite Falls, I gotta admit, the later game packs have really topped this. And with this being the very first game pack released for The Sims 4, I could not have asked for a better start personally.
Number 4.
Dine Out. This was probably the most difficult one for me to rank out of all of them because I actually use this game pack the most. I love having restaurants in my game. I consider them essential to The Sims. But then why did I rank this one fairly low? Well, the glitches are part of that. Because, especially with music, I can't have music in my restaurants without having Sims get up from their table and then dance the night away. It's like, this is a restaurant, a dining establishment, not a dance club, and it's just, it's annoying. There's even one mod that I had to reduce autonomous dancing, and it still doesn't work with restaurants. And especially considering how much longer we had to wait for Dine Out compared to the other game packs, I think there should have been a bit more content. Like, we should have maybe had the nectar making skill return from World Adventures. There is nectar that we can put on the menus thanks to Dine Out, but there's no actual skill to make said nectar, which I find a bit strange. And while I don't think it was, like, extremely essential to have it, I would have loved to have a Magnolia Promenade-sized world to place restaurants in, because space in The Sims 4 is something I complain about a lot. There's not very much of it, and if we had, like, a small 4 or 5 lot world as, like, a restaurant district, I think that would have helped out a lot. And another complaint I have is that while I do like that they went with something a bit different and focused on experimental food instead of the international cuisine they did later with City Living, you need a special stove to cook that experimental food, and literally only 2 of my households have one. It's so awkward to fit, like a lot of objects that I've discussed in one of my recent videos. But yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that I can't use experimental food at home more often. However, if you really like having restaurants in your game, then I still highly recommend getting it anyways, especially since you can run the restaurants, and it's definitely an advancement over the retail stores in Get to Work.
Number 3.
Jungle Adventure! Darn it, James, that's still stuck in my head from your Instagram, but yeah, Jungle Adventure I think is pretty well done. We're starting to get higher up on the list now, and it was really difficult for me to decide whether to put Dine Out or Jungle Adventure in this spot, but Jungle Adventure won out. Though it's definitely not perfect, there's plenty that I love about Jungle Adventure. Selva Dorada is a distinct improvement over Outdoor Retreats Granite Falls, bringing us a location with a jungle that's brought us closer to an open world than we ever have in The Sims 4. But they didn't settle for just making another relaxing vacation world. Instead, they went with more of a World Adventures inspired angle, giving us back tombs in the form of a hidden temple that has the power to automatically change its layout every time you return to Selva Dorada. And even though City Living had a lot of emphasis on culture, Jungle Adventure sets itself apart by introducing a dedicated skill around Salvadoradian culture, which is a really nice touch, and I hope they'll do a few more culture skills like it in the future. Adding archaeology as a skill is also really nice, which pushes up the replay value of this pack quite a bit. While I don't go to Selva Dorada super often, it's a great change of pace from the daily grind. I really hope that they'll reuse the semi-open world layout of the jungle in a future pack, like maybe a scuba diving adventure. I think there's a lot of potential that they can explore thanks to what they've done with this game pack.
Number 2.
Parenthood! This pack has received a lot of praise from the Sims community, and it's not hard to see why. Better gameplay for family-oriented simmers has been a popular request ever since the base game released, and while there's still more that can be done in this area, Parenthood helped out a ton, that's for sure. It gives me Sims 3 Generations vibes, but not in a way that it's trying to copy it. While Generations felt more like a gap filler to me, Parenthood opted for a laser focus on parenting complete with its dedicated skill, which I actually like more than Generations. The character value system is a first for The Sims, and both as a parent and their offspring, it's fun to see how they influence gameplay. Children and teenagers have more depth than before thanks to things like mood swings, sibling rivalries, and teachable moments that work like chance cards except they affect character values. And the character values can actually affect what traits your Sims get in the long run. Plus, some of the other features like after-school projects, setting curfews, grounding, and table setting help this pack create more authentic family settings. If you love playing with families throughout multiple generations, this game pack needs to be in your collection. I think this is not only one of the best game packs, but one of the best releases for The Sims 4 period, even when compared against the expansions. Giving much needed depth to an aspect of The Sims 4 that desperately needed it, but accomplishing it in a way that doesn't straight up imitate previous games gives this the well-deserved number 2 spot. But what could possibly be the one to top this?
Number 1.
Da-da-da-da! I proudly present Vampires as my number 1 favorite game pack. This might be a surprise to many of you, but I love having occults in The Sims. While I do still play with human Sims the most, occults are great for a change of lifestyle. In the past, they've tended to vary in quality, but my goodness, I was blown away by how much they improved the vampires over their previous iterations in The Sims 2 and The Sims 3. They don't feel like normal Sims with a few differences. It feels like a game within a game to me, and that's awesome. Initially, I was skeptical of us getting a pack with just vampires, but in the end, it gave the team a way to give this occult more depth that they likely could not have pulled off as a mere side feature of an expansion pack. I love how there's a wide variety of different abilities you can unlock as your vampire gains power, but in turn you also have to choose a weakness. In a way, it reminds me of the Fatal Flaw system from The Sims Medieval. I think this system also lays the foundations for future occults to be more awesome than their previous iterations too, like witches and fairies. Heck, I wouldn't mind a superhero game pack that borrows inspiration from vampires. I'm very glad that we did get a new world with vampires so that they can have their own little community to live in if you don't want them all to have to blend into normal society. Vampires was the game pack to release after Dine Out, and while I would have loved a small world in Dine Out, I wouldn't be surprised if the developers had to make a choice between giving a new world to Dine Out or vampires, and if that's the case, I think they chose correctly. One other thing that I love about this pack that I don't think is mentioned enough is the amount of customization there is for vampires in Create a Sim. It took advantage of the teeth customization feature that was dropped in the Toddlers update right before Vampires released, being able to give your vampires different kinds of fangs. But not only that, there's a bunch of facial detail options that only vampires can have, plus you have the option to give them a dark form, which is a bit similar to how the aliens from Get to Work have disguises but also have their true alien form. I can't praise this pack enough. I think it's pretty underrated. Parenthood was my #1 favorite for a while, but as I got deeper into vampires, I ended up liking vampires more for really showing how much better cults can be in The Sims when they're given a proper amount of attention. Sorry, Parenthood. And that's my rankings of the current game packs from worst to best as of April 2018. While I like some more than others, overall I enjoy all of the game packs, and I don't think any of them have been a failure, which I cannot say the same for expansion packs and stuff packs. Let me know in the comment section below how you'd rank the game packs, and if you'd like to see me do more of these ranking type videos. I'm already thinking of doing one where I rank my overall top 5 favorite packs across the entire franchise. So with that, be sure to leave a like or a comment or even subscribe because it lets me know that you like my channel, my videos, and it helps you keep up to date more easily with the latest content from me. I do videos on The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.